Well, looks like I'm gonna have to fly solo on this one. A score and 2 months ago, one company rose from what was left of WCW and create and partnered up with the National Wrestling Alliance, a company that would put itself on the map in its own way, as indie wrestling was starting to get its feet back and wet again in the US in 2002. This company would be known as NWA TNA, Total Nonstop Action. But over the years, it would change its name and eventually settle on Impact Wrestling, owned by Anthem. Tonight is their 20th anniversary event. Live from their longtime home grounds, the Impact Asylum, the Nashville City Fairgrounds in Nashville, Tennessee. We've got 9 matches set up on this card. On paper, this card looks decent enough, but there are some crap heaps. There is one crap heap, at least 2 shit stains on here that I need to address. But let's break down the card. First up is the pre-show matches. Brian Myers, who owns physical possession of the Impact Digital Media title, challenges Rich Swann, the champion of it. On May 28th at the Vegas Vacation event held by Wrestling Revolver, Swann beat Cardona to win the title. However, Cardona refused to cough it up, which resulted in him attacking Swann after the match and making off with it. On June 9th, Cardona appeared on a Zoom call with Brian Myers, relinquishing the title after the latter suffered a torn bicep. Myers would challenge Swann to a match for the Media Championship at Slammiversary to determine the real champion. Possession is 9/10 of the law, but in this case, that title technically belongs to Swann, not Myers. So I'm going to take Swann to get back his property. Next up is, one of the worst matchup concepts in Impact history, the Reverse Battle Royal match. It's no wonder they retired this after the 2007 Bound for Glory event. For those who don't know what a Reverse Battle Royal is, it means that a select number of wrestlers, usually around 12 to 16, are going to start outside the ring and wrestle and fight each other until 8 or so of them get in the ring. Once those 8 men or individuals are in the ring, it becomes a battle royal. You're eliminated by going over the top rope with both feet hitting the floor. Once it gets to the final 2, then it's pinfall or submission. And I don't know what the prize is, but if they're setting this up like I believe they did with the last batch of these matchups, I'm going to guess this is a tournament setup. This is setting up for a tournament of some kind. And needless to say, I've got a bad feeling about this. What participants will be in this matchup? Now, it has to be guys who are not champions and are not regulars on the card. They're basically usually a bunch of open carders, mid carders, and what have you. I believe we're going to have Aiden Prince, Guinevere Guljar, Chris Bay, Crazy Steve, the Diener, El Phantasmo, Heath, John Schuyler, Johnny Swinger, the Laredo Kid, Raj Singh, Shira, and Zicky Dice in this match. I wonder if that's the that was the 16 that was a solo 16 I put in here. Let's see. One, two. I'm gonna think Victorious would be in this. 3, 4, 5, 6. Jasmine Heath makes 7. Dorian is 8, 9, 10, 11. And falls out, so he can't be in this. 12. 13. Damn it, that's only 14. Oh, well, I think it could work. I put a question mark around Steve Macklin. But I'll get to why when I get to a certain match a little later. I don't really see Matt doing this match. Anyway, well, if we throw in Morrissey, if he still has his contract, that would make 15 men in the match. But that being said, how this pans out, I don't know. If he's in it, I'll take Morrissey to win. If he's not, I'm going to go Joe Doring. Come on, Pete, whack it. Also, scoreboard watching the Marlin Met game, for those wondering. Not the kind of whack I wanted, Pete, idiot. At least the Nationals are winning. Anyway, moving on. The match I think kicks off the show proper. Impact's high wire spectacle, the Ultimate X. For the X Division Championship, Kenny King of Honor No More, Bullet Club's newest recruit, the inevitable Ace Austin, defends against Kenny King of Honor No More, Speedball Mike Bailey, Trey Miguel, Jack Evans, and the Sauce, Alex Zayne. Bailey and Zayne have personal stakes and want to get back at Austin for double crossing them. More so Zayne than Bailey, because Zayne and Ace were in the best of the Super Juniors together in the same block and seemed to form a good friendship until the final night of the tournament tour at the Budokan, where Ace Austin joined Bullet Club. Who do I pick to win this match? It's kind of a toss-up. You've got Jack Evans, who's very nimble in his own right, on the levels of Ace Austin and Alex Zayne. And Miguel wants the X Division title back after he lost it at Rebellion. You've got Kenny King, who's Honor No More's entrant, and basically has all the tools he needs, and he's a former X Division champion like Trey and Ace have been. Ace is the current champion. That being said, it's going to be hard to pick a winner out of this bunch. I'm going to pick So, who do I go with this one? I don't know. I'll play it safe and go the inevitable one, Ace Austin, to retain the X Division title. As much as I like Speedball and I would want to see him become the new champ, I don't think it's going to happen. Sorry, Mike. Next up, for the Imapct Knockouts Tag Team titles, The Influence, Madison, Rayne, and Tenille Dashwood take on defend against the Strange Bedfellows, Rosemary, and Taya Valkyrie. As strange a bedfellows as this tag team combo is of Taya and Rosemary, remember, Rosemary's only chose Taya because Havoc's out with an injury. So with that in mind, even if this duo does work together, I'm not sure if they can pull it off. But for the heck of it, I'll take Rosemary and Taya to become the new Knockouts Tag Team Champions, though the odds are not likely in the favor of this duo. Next up, for the Imapct Tag Team titles, them boys, the Briscoes, Jay and Mark defend against the Good Brothers of Bullet Club, Doc Gallows, and the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. Briscoes have never beaten the Good Brothers in the past in a 2-on-2 tag match. Sure, they've beaten them in 10-man tag matches, but never where it's just 4 men in the ring. To say that the odds are kind of stacked against them boys is a bit of an understatement based on this history and the statistics. My heart's saying it's time to man up and them boys finally get the Duke, but my head is saying Good Brothers. And with how the pendulum of momentum has been swinging Bullet Club's way, especially when Gallows is coming into this as the new never openweight champion of New Japan, hard to deny the momentum. But on the other hand, them boys want to prove they belong in Impact. They're spending almost pretty much their entire careers in ROH of 20 years. You better man up. And I think they're going to man up. I'm going to take them boys to retain the tag titles. Next up, we've got the Queen of the Mountain match for the Imapct Knockouts World title. With Mickie James serving as special enforcer to neutralize Sasha Evans, Tasha Steelz will defend against Chelsea Greene, the Hot Mess, the Virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo, Thick Mama Pump, Jordynne Grace, and Mia Yim. Excuse me. Agree with what, Gavin? What do you agree with, Gavin? Anyway, for those who don't know what the King/Queen of the Mountain match is, think of a reverse ladder, an overly complicated reverse ladder match, where instead of climbing a ladder to rip the belt down, you climb it to hang it up. But there is a catch in order to be eligible to hang the belt. You have to pin an opponent. You have to get a fall over your opponent by pinfall or submission, at which point they get put in a cage that's sitting ringside known as the penalty box, and they're locked in there for 2 minutes. At which point, you can grab the belt, climb the ladder, and try to hang the title. If you get pinned or made to submit, you go in the box for 2 minutes. And falls count anywhere in the building. So, looking at each of these competitors, none of them have ever competed in this environment. But yet but 4 of them are former Imapct champions. Current or former knockout champs. Steelz, the current champ, and you have Yim, Grace, and Purrazzo, all of whom at one point or another held the knockout title. The only one who hasn't, Chelsea Greene. And with her husband, Matt Cardona, on the shelf with a bicep tear, you know she wants to win this. It's just to help the family. However, she has an old friend who she stabbed in the back serving as enforcer. Or in Mickie James, keeping an eye on things. And Tasha knows that without Savannah Evans as the insurance policy, as long as Mickie is out there tonight, she's going to have to go it alone. But this is going to be a tough pick'em for me. 5 women, 4 of them former champs. On paper, I would say Chelsea Greene is the one that needs this title win. But on the other hand, Tasha Steelz deserves more credibility than she's given. But to be fair, only 2 or 3 times that I know of in a King or Queen of the Mountain match in this case has the title been successfully retained by the individual who walked in as the champion. Samoa Joe in 2008 for the heavyweight title, Suicide in 2009 for the X Division title, Matt Hardy in 2015, I believe, or whoever it was that was King of the Mountain champ in 2015 or 16. Or maybe it was a world champ in 15 or 16. I don't remember. But those are the only 3 times whoever's walked into the match the champion has walked out with the belt in hand. Every other time, it's swapped hands or the title was vacated, guaranteeing a new champion. And personally, I am glad that this match is back where it belongs at Slammiversary. But will it main event? I don't think it will. If I had to pick, I'm going to go... God, this is like throwing a knife blindfolded at a dartboard. Chelsea. But only because Mickie James ends up turning on the fan base and whatever babyface is climbing the ladder. Whether it's Mia or Jordynne. But that's a long shot of happening. So yeah, the hot mess, Chelsea Greene, walks out the new Knockouts champion. But it's a long shot. Next up, a 10-man tag team match. Imapct Originals versus Honor No More. We know Honor No More's lineup. It's Eddie Edwards, OGK, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, PCO and Vincent. The Imapct Originals, the Motorcity Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, Frankie Kazarian, Nick Aldis, and one man to be determined. I've got it tossed up between 2 guys that would fill in that final spot in my head. On the one hand, it would be Steve Maclin, because he's currently in a feud with PCO. That would make sense. The only problem with this is that Maclin has already stabbed the Imapct Originals in the back once before. Now, he didn't join Honor No More when he did it. He was just saying he's a loner. No more and no less. Swear to God, Buck, get rid of Nick Plummer. Send him back down and bring Dom back up, you son of a bitch. Pardon my mouth, but my point, I've been keeping track of the Met game that's going on right now with the Marlins. Anyway, my other option. So in the case of bringing Macklin on the team again, it's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I don't go with it. But there is one I would trust in this situation who has bled Impact from day one. And my choice? Now the catch with the Team Impact is they can only choose Impact alums or current roster members. And here's my choice. If they go the alum route. Stupid Red Bull commercials.
Sorry about your damn luck.
Yep. My choice for the mystery partner is this guy.
Moonshine sipping, beer skinning, beer drinking, Johnny Cash listening.
The Tennessee Cowboy, Jane Storm. If it's him, Honor No More, I've only got one thing to say to you, and that's that I'm sorry. Sorry about your damn luck! And that's sorry about your damn luck. But if it's Macklin, Honor No More wins. So that's the way I'm going to look at this. If it's Storm, Impact OGs win. Macklin, Honor No More. Simply because I don't trust Macklin. After the stunt he pulled at Sacrifice, in the match between Eddie Edwards and Rhino, would you blame me? No, you wouldn't. Moving on, we go to Monsters Ball. Sami Callihan versus Moose. Death Machine versus Self-Professed Wrestling God, who's been feeling a lot more mortal since dropping the Impact World Heavyweight title to Josh Alexander at Rebellion. Now, before this match begins, I'm pretty sure last night, around 7:30 p.m., Sami and Moose were locked away in solitary confinement without food, water, or sunlight, going back to the original rules of this match, where before the show even begins, and the day before the show begins, both men are locked away. They don't get food, don't get water, don't see any sunlight for 24 hours. It's a no DQ deathmatch style, and this fits Sami's bread and butter perfectly, in my opinion. And this is Sami Callihan's bread and butter. He's hell-bent on revenge against Moose for breaking his ankle last year. Personally, I think Sami's going to get it. My pick is the Death Machine. Moose, thumbs up, thumbs fucking down. Give the win to Sami Callihan. Finally, the main event for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. The challenger, the leader of Violent by Design, the world-class maniac Eric Young. The champion, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. One man who embodies the past and present of Impact, the other who represents its present and future. If Diener and Doring are too busy to deal with the Reverse Battle Royal tournament match, Battle Royal match, Young is going to walk out there on his own. But if they recover enough, you know VBD will have EY's back. I'm pretty sure they're going to be recovered enough to have Eric Young's back. So who do I take to win this one? I'm going to go with an upset special here. Josh Alexander. Why? Because I don't think Impact gives lengthy world title runs to baby faces. They give way too many of them to the heels. And it's best to keep the belt on Alexander at least for a little bit longer. So lock it up. Josh Alexander walks into Nashville, the champ, and he's walking out still the Impact World Heavyweight Champion. That's all I got for today. We'll find out how it goes in a few hours. Leave a comment, smash the like, sub to the channel. Mets2128 signing out. Goodbye and good night. Bang.